Hello, everyone. My name is Mario Abreu. I am a loan officer here at Impact Loan Fund. And in today's interview, I'm excited to have Frank Rosario, owner of Like Minded Solutions. Like Minded Solutions is a business consulting firm that helps business owners with things like accounting, tax preparation, and corporate registration services. And so today we're going to be talking about like-minded solutions. We're gonna be talking about some of the, especially tax season is here, and business owners are trying to get ready, and just discuss a little bit around how what can you do to get ready. And this has been a series of interviews that we have been doing with other accountants and tax preparers. So if you have any other questions or want other points of references, you can just go to our YouTube channel and find the content there. So that being said, Frank, thank you for being here, and please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Amari. First, I would like to thank you and Impact for the opportunity to get on the podcast. I think it's a great initiative to engage business owners and the community to learn about these topics like tax preparation, accounting, and things that help your business improve and get ready, loan ready. My name is Frank Rosario. I'm the founder of Like Minded Solutions. It's a business development firm or business consulting firm. We focus heavily with small business owners, especially Latino entrepreneurs and first generation business owners who need real guidance, not just someone to file their paperwork.
Good, man. Thank you. And I was gonna ask you. So it seems like, do you guys have a particular focus on the type of client you work with? Like, are you working with individuals? Are you working with small like businesses? On like, who do you help typically?
We serve individuals and small businesses, especially service based businesses, contractors, food trucks, auto shops, retail stores, and LLCs. I have a background with Dominican grocers. I used to work as the director of community outreach for Dominican Grocers Association. So I have worked with a lot of bodegueros, and I got the experience from that about the things that they really need to be successful in their business. And a lot of our clients are first time business owners who didn't grow up with financial literacy. So we try to teach them on how to register their business property from day one, registering a property with LLC, with the Department of State of Pennsylvania, with the IRS, and the city of Philadelphia. Make sure they got a Philadelphia tax account number and everything they need to be successful from day one.
Yeah. Now, you, because you work with different businesses, I know that a lot of businesses in our community, in the Hispanic community, are very cash heavy businesses. They handle cash. You know that a lot of times that cash doesn't make it to the bank account, which there's a time and place for that. But I want to know what recommendations do you have for businesses that handle a lot of cash, like physical cash? Can they stay organized? What would you say they could do to stay organized?
I think the best way for that kind of business to stay organized is to have a business bank account that is under the LLC or the corporation name and deposit every single dollar that gets into your hand because they do have a financial tax responsibility from the IRS to report every single dollar that comes in, even if it's cash. So I would say make it a point to, I would say maybe once a week or every few days, depending on how much cash you have coming in, to go and deposit it into your business bank account. Don't deposit it into your personal account. Make sure that everything that's related to your business goes into your business bank account.
Yeah, I think that that's one of the mistakes I see a lot as a lender is that business owners that um, handle a lot of cash sometimes don't deposit that cash into the bank account, so I don't really have a clear idea of how the business is doing, and so it's hard to know if we can lend to them or not. Um, I would say it's too like, tax season is pretty much here. A lot of people are, preparing taxes and getting ready for that on an individual basis and business as well. But what is your recommendation for business owners, who are kind of like trying to get ready for tax season, or trying to work with you? What can they do to be ready to get to a point where they're not scrambling last minute?
Okay, I would say for future reference, let's say a client comes into my business and they are a business owner. I encourage them to actually hire a bookkeeper or an accountant to do their bookkeeping every month and provide them with a profit and loss statement every month. Because what we need to do as tax preparers is when a client comes in and they have a business, we actually do got to do 12 months of accounting work in that one day that we're doing the tax preparation. So I would say, in order to prepare, they should work with a certified accountant or bookkeeper to make sure that they keeping everything correctly. But if they don't, let's say they show up today and they haven't done their proper bookkeeping, go to a person who is qualified as a tax preparer and who understands a little bit of bookkeeping and accounting to make sure that everything's get reported properly, the everything gets classified correctly. The expenses get categorized in the right sections, so you can actually get the most out of your refund. And like I said, you do have a responsibility, a fiscal responsibility with the IRS to report every single dollar. So make sure you keep track of everything. Um, like we used to say back in the day, you kept everything in the shoebox.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
that's what you need, keep all your receipts in the shoebox or the invoices in the shoebox. Just keep it in one place so you can bring it to a professional like me.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's funny. That's a good saying because that's an old saying too. Yeah. So I think the other thing that I wanted to touch base with you on was there's people sometimes don't understand the difference between a sole proprietor business, a LLC, a corporation. From a high level, like, can you share for people that may not know what the differences are between somebody that's operating like a sole proprietorship that's not registered, as an LLC, and then an LLC versus a corporation?
Okay, so I would say a sole proprietorship, it's very simple. It's me, let's say Frank Rosario. I decide to open up a restaurant and I put every single bill that comes in, like utility bills, under my name. I put the lease under my name. I put the business account under my name. And I put everything you can think of, all permits and licenses from the city of Philadelphia, for example, under my name. That's, in my opinion, that's one of the worst things you can do as a business owner because it leaves you with liability. Let's say in that same restaurant, you have a customer who comes in and they get food poisoning. You know, of course, you should have the proper insurance to make sure it covers it, but you still responsible personally for everything that happens in that business because it's under your name. Then there's different things like there's something called LLC, which a lot of people are familiar to, limited liability company, which is something that is recommended for small business and entrepreneurs and people who are starting off and who are making less than $100,000 per year. There's a lot of differences between the LLC and the corporation itself, and you have to talk to a professional who can help you figure out what works best for you. And a lot of it has to do with the way you want your taxes to be, passed through. For example, LLC gets registered under the Department of State of Pennsylvania, and it protects you under something called a corporate bail, even though it's not a corporation, but it protects you. And that's
Mhm.
where it's really important to separate personal funds and business funds. You cannot commingle your personal funds, money that comes in on a personal level, in your business funds, because if that happens, you can actually pierce